Podcast on! How's it going, everybody, and welcome to episode 46
Jesus.
of the Ready Game Fire podcast.
46.
Today is the pre-E3 extravaganza episode, but also we're of course going to be talking about yesterday's Xbox One reveal. I am your host Chris Fox, mediating this E3 three-way battle, and with me today are, as always, representing Sony, battling for all that is PlayStation. It's the third place. It's Mike Power.
I'm going to step in here.
No.
Why do you always do Mike first?
He doesn't.
I'm next to you.
I don't.
I'm
usually last. I'm usually last, if anything.
If anything, yeah, because Fenn is alphabetical.
I don't do it in any order.
It's
He's the second most best contributor.
He might not do much or be that funny,
You're just going to end
but
it.
he's around a lot. So,
He doesn't go away, I think, is the thing.
Yeah.
But I was going to say the one and only, but that's fine.
Doing you last now, Stuart.
Okay.
As
Sloppy thirds.
so, if Mike's battling for Sony, then obviously Sonny Mody is waving the flag for the big N, and he said he was gonna. What did you say? You're gonna make up for the Nintendo no show at E3 by being on this podcast.
Well, I was going to do a Sunny Direct, but
Whoa! I like that.
Because the last Nintendo Direct was just full of...
we're back. We're back after what? 3 months?
I'm looking
3
at
month hiatus.
break.
Ready Game Fire.
Yeah, we're back.
Scrolling.
Yeah, it's the grand return. Everybody loves a bit of Ready Game Fire on their toast.
I
in
know
the
2 or
morning.
3 people that do.
And that gorgeous voice you hear finally is
Here it
Captain
is.
Xbox himself, Stuart Fenn.
Here I am.
Those are the people in the room. We've got Sonny Nintendo, Michael Sony, and Fenn Xbox. And of course, we all know how much James McNerney loves Twitter, so he's going to be live tweeting in with his reactions to.
can't wait for this.
He loves Twitter. If you want to follow him, go to twitter.com/James. Tweet
13 James.
Nightmarish, and he will be tweeting in. To join in the conversation here about yesterday's Xbox reveal.
Pretty exciting.
What did you think of the Xbox One reveal? What do you think about our podcast? If you want to tell us, email us at contact@readygamefire.co.uk. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook and YouTube, and on iTunes. Search for Ready Game Fire. On all of those interfaces, please do the appropriate thing. Like, subscribe, follow, retweet, rate and review. Is that all of them?
Yeah, that's iTunes.
Yeah, that's
And of course, poke and Instagram us.
I haven't... And Vine. Get on Vine. We haven't got a Vine account yet.
I've got the Vine app on my phone.
Should we do a Vine for this podcast?
Yeah,
Something to
right.
think.
I don't know what this
6 seconds of funny. How can we come up with that?
There's some very funny Vines.
There are some
We can't
very
be
funny
funny.
ones.
It'll just be like... funny faces.
I don't know what it is.
Vine, it's like it's tweeting, but with video.
It's Twitter's video service.
It's cool.
6 seconds of video. That's all you're allowed.
Sonny, do your orangutan again.
Then hold your finger on the screen.
You hold to record for a bit.
Okay.
Wow!
Right, now you've got to do a monkey impression.
Me?
Yeah.
It's all right. No, I recorded you saying me. Do something funny.
Don't do this. I don't do this on video.
You don't do one.
It's not for me.
It's a worthwhile video, innit?
That's good. That's a good point. And do it. We can interact instantly during the show.
Just like Mac is. We're recording episode 46. Don't bother watching this. So, last night was the reveal of the new Xbox console. We learnt that it was called Xbox One. We saw many, many things. We're going to talk about some of them now. Guys, why don't you each bring up something that stuck out most for you about the reveal for good or bad reasons? Yes, the dog.
Dog, amazing, isn't it?
Well, they did speak about
It's like owning a real dog.
a new model. They spoke about a new model for a dog in the next Call of Duty game for a while. It
If
felt
you
like.
can see the tattoo in his ear.
Yeah, I mean, forget the fact that no games were mentioned for half an hour.
Yeah.
No games were mentioned for half an hour. Some of the only juicy game stuff we got last night was the dog.
But I'll say, like, I think, I mean, it's a bigger issue. But the Call of Duty stuff was actually good for Call of Duty, especially. I think the trailer was very good. The focus on the It's Call of Duty, so the focus on the single player art direction and character development and story was, as someone I know, Chris, you're the same, who enjoys the single player, was actually really cool to see on a big stage like that.
It was a good.
It was actually a good Call of Duty reveal.
It's by the better team as well. It's by the better team,
But-
i.e. the Modern Warfare team. But what I noticed is that none of it, and I know I wasn't streaming in full HD, blah blah blah, but you could still tell it didn't look next gen enough. It just looked like a current gen Call of Duty title. Now maybe, and I haven't really heard many people talk about that, but that's something that I noticed. I thought, hang on, this doesn't look to be that much of a leap at all.
The vertical jump compared to PS2, Xbox,
I know,
is not going to be as high.
Believe me, I know that it's a small incremental jump. The jumps between each generation are slowed down. The further we've got, but
they showed a bit of Price.
he's looking it up.
By all means, carry on.
I know.
Which was great to see Price.
Can I just? There was so little soul in that whole presentation. I thought
We didn't talk about Price yesterday, did we?
they showed the model of Price, and they went, "Here's a model of a character from Modern Warfare 3." And I thought, God, you're not even gonna fucking name him. He's just a collection of polygons to you, isn't he?
They did say Price.
I know, but then they did.
and they jumped to the other character model, and maybe it was because that character model was like in the default like setup space, so he wasn't in an environment. But you're right, the jump it didn't stand out.
It looked.
It's like a clean-up job. To being Modern Warfare 3 was a bit felt old for age. Black Ops 2 as well felt a bit. So just the idea they're sprucing it up and pulling it so it's going to be as good looking as Crisis 1 was back in the day is still a good thing.
My point.
I just don't care about Call of Duty at all.
No.
I will be. I was thinking to myself, I'll get a brand new Xbox, brand new console, or whatever. A great game to show what that system can do at that time would be a Call of Duty game. Not a Call of Duty game.
Probably.
I'm sure there are better teams out there working on better stuff than Call of Duty. I wouldn't say
it's
it's a
so
showpiece.
shit, isn't it?
I wouldn't say it's a showpiece. I'd say something
Why
like
not? Of
Flower
course you
for
would.
PS3 looks
Yeah.
amazing. I think that shows off the PS3 better than Call of Duty would. I think something original, something unique would show off the system better.
You forget that you're a gamer, and like all of us, we're all burnt out on Call of Duty, but we can never forget how important, how good, how polished, and how good looking those games are, because they are. Anyway.
World at War.
World at War.
It's Treyarch.
No. I heard everyone talking about how great like the latest Call of Duty was, which was Modern Warfare at the time. Because I'd never really. Yeah. And then I was like, I've got to give this a new Call of Duty game a go. And I fired up the World at War demo. I was like, this is what everyone's raving about.
Yeah, man. It was.
Oh my
shonky.
lord.
Shonky.
But I think the problem is that Call of Duty was the end of the Xbox announce, and it's also out on PS4 and be out on PC as well.
How exclusive is it? Isn't it?
Just DLC.
Oh, really?
And that sums up a problem for me of the whole conference, which was just that.
Call of Duty Ghosts.
Yeah.
It's out on everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
It's on PS3, Xbox.
The DLC again is timed exclusive. Well, like Ready Game Fire's own Annie O'Brien, when she saw it, she was just saying, "There's nothing new. There's nothing new. They haven't shown me anything new."
You heard about TV?
No. When you swim near fish, they go away now.
I know, it's like
swim away. Have you not seen that?
It was like interactive smoke. What's that?
But not all fish do that.
Here's how I know that there was definitely a problem with the COD footage that was shown in terms of quality, because when I saw Killzone
Shadowfall.
Shadowfall,
Doesn't sound right.
It is Shadowfall.
when I saw Killzone Second Son, Knack,
yeah.
I thought, wow, this kills. I mean, it was like, that looks amazing. I mean, they just showed it in a brilliant way, scale, quality,
It was the
fidelity.
scale, wasn't it? You're right, yeah.
But my point was, I saw that footage and I thought, yeah, next gen. And I saw the Call of Duty Ghost footage and I was like, but then again, Killzone Shadowfall is probably PS4 exclusive, and obviously Ghost is going to be on every platform, so it's one of those straddling games that I guess is suffering in quality on next gen.
I think with Killzone, at least they showed off gameplay, whereas Call of Duty, they didn't show off any gameplay. It was just a trailer.
There was in-game
footage,
stuff.
but
they did actually, and it looked really weak. Actually, they showed they showed, for those who don't know, they showed a behind-the-scenes dev diary almost thing, and they showed a few quick cuts. They did show them in-game shooting, and they talked about how you can slide into cover and lean round.
Oh, amazing!
I know.
Yeah, I know.
But that looked really. It looked.
It's not a new
good,
feature though. It's in so many other
but
games. Why would you say that? Oh, we've got a new sliding feature. What? No.
But this is what
that's not a selling point, guys.
And that's weird, isn't it? That's what I mean. I'm going to actually put something out there. I watched the conference late last night, And actually, I think objectively, it's a good conference. It's a good conference. It was well presented, well
Depends
done.
who's watching it.
Depends who's watching it, exactly. I mean, you look at the mainstream reactions today, and they
you're
all
a
actually
TV
really
lover.
enjoyed it. If you're a TV lover,
If
you're
you
good
love
in.
live
If you're an
TV,
American NFL
sports.
player, you're fine.
Though to be fair, Phil Howson did talk today, or rather he talked to your gamer last night about that's obviously tailored for North America, and there are things
It
like
was
that
a
coming
very
in,
American
yeah.
conference.
It was. But going back to the point,
Yusuf said something when he
Yusuf's
was
amazing.
talking about his fancy league. He said, "This is the guy that's been doing," and then Donaldson did a
Dominating!
Yeah, dominating in my fantasy ball team this year. It's like, I was watching it going,
Awkward.
I like video games. Do you wanna show me some? Yusuf?
Yeah.
Stop teasing me, Yusuf.
But again, you're underestimating the
TV.
They love sports. It's fantasy football in America. They
They do fucking
love
love
it.
it.
They love it.
Anybody? They love it over here.
Nothing like the same. Nothing like the same. It's
God,
it's a
no.
much more involved endeavour.
Well, if they
at the
pull
moment.
it across to fantasy football and FIFA, then they've got the same. Then they will.
Yeah.
They've got the same.
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Unfortunately, Microsoft did say that it's going to be America first and
Yeah.
eventually everywhere else.
So let's move on from.
Well, so I think one thing to say was talking about the things they were announcing that weren't new. I think the problem was the stuff in the front end of the conference about. Look, we've got voice controls. Look, we've got a TV guide. Look, we've got Skype. They were announcing, like when we first saw Internet Explorer at E3, and they announced that with some big pomp and circumstance. Like with the animated fish in Call of Duty, they're announcing so much stuff. That's not worth announcing.
It's the arrogance
It's
of
crazy.
it's the arrogance of Microsoft to not look around the environment, see how successful the Sony conference, the Sony reveal was.
With cool gamers.
Yeah.
I think something that's legit to say is that last night's conference went down a lot better in mainstream press than it did in video game press.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
By-
people were appreciating it
by-
as a system, an entertainment suite.
Yeah, fair
You
enough.
will.
I mean, fair enough, because all the video game outlets. I mean, I definitely don't think it's as bad as a lot of the gamers are saying it is.
Everyone loves
It's
the live
doom and gloom, isn't it? I mean,
Well, that's it, isn't it?
But it is
Everything's-
for us. It is for us.
Things are often brilliant.
it's not dooming. It's not
It's-
all that bad.
It's not that bad, but it shows Microsoft's focus that they're sort of moving away from the core gamer and maybe getting the Nintendo market, which they got with the Wii.
Yeah, but this
That's
is
a
what-
very fickle market, which we've learned
Yeah.
that they've all moved over to
This is what I
iPad
thought.
and
They're
tablet.
trying to capture that market in a different way. So it's not Waggle anymore. It's the more basic stuff. It's the TV, the sports, the stuff that everyone loves, and I think that will capture
Some
a
of
large
it.
audience.
Well, that market's been left wide open due to the Wii U being
Exactly.
not a thing.
But then the thing is, the Wii was easy to understand,
Yeah.
whereas
Yeah.
an Xbox is not.
TV remote, TV experience, TV, sports TV. Anybody?
Let's rewind to the beginning. What did you guys think when you first saw the console? Mac, obviously, he's tweeting. I mean, he's been tweeting me loads. He's saying, "Why aren't you reading any of them out yet?" Easy, Mac. I'll read one now. He says, "Wow, that console looks hideous. I hope PS4 isn't that clunky. Reminds me of a VHS player."
Well, as much as I want to disagree with him, and that's instinctive, it's ugly as fuck, isn't it? It looks like VHS, your first
It's not
DVD
just
player.
it's ugly. It's just so no sort of thought or imagination or design work has gone into it
It
at all.
is
Someone just saw their DVR and went, "Could just look like that. Let's do that. Let's do that."
Yeah.
Because then I can leave. Because then I can leave at 2, rather than stay here till 6:30.
From some angles, it looks all right.
It's
You mean when it's in a box?
No, from below the bottom right.
With the
corner,
lights off.
looking up, dim lights.
Are you going to
up
play?
front shots.
Are you going to play your Xbox like lying down just underneath it?
I'm
So
not
you're
going to play that thing. Don't
Don't
worry.
need two mirrors. You
You
have
can't.
mirrors.
You can't stand it on its side. It needs to.
Whoa,
Does
whoa,
it
you can
really-
play that thing and not just watch it.
But the controller looks better than ever, doesn't it? Come on,
looks-
I
guys.
like the
Bigger.
The buttons are
it does.
nice.
It's
The
not-
buttons are wider.
It's not bigger.
That was my only
Is it
complaint.
bigger?
It looks bigger.
I don't think it.
The top looks. They've moved.
It's
They've
bigger
moved-
on the top,
Yeah,
I think.
don't like that part of it. That looks chunky. Whereas the last one is kind of slick. There's a zoom in of the joysticks. They're kind of. They're ridged like underneath it.
yeah,
Everything is. And
yeah.
it looks like whoa. Those look like fucking.
It's obviously going to be it's easily the best pad.
What is it though?
Here are the top stories, for better or for worse. Fixed D-pad,
As long as it's a good D-pad,
rumble,
okay with that.
rumble in the triggers. And like Mike said, it still takes AA batteries, which is a bit fucking stupid.
No, it's not. It's super cute. I think
It's-
it's really adorable.
it's
It's like a
irritating.
Furby.
But with charge packs being available, obviously, as well.
Yeah, for more
Once again,
money, of
separate.
course. You won't
Yeah.
get one bundled in with your console or an HDMI cable, but you can buy them all separately.
There is an HDMI cable in there.
I know. I'm
haven't
taking a
announced
piss.
You
I'm-
are
I'm-
cacked for that. You shocked me to the core of my being.
Jesus, C-bomb.
There's an HDMI in as well, so deal with that.
Oh wait, Sonny, is there an Ethernet port in
Nope.
the? You see, I want to call it anything other than the Xbox One.
Anything
Yeah.
would do,
Not
wouldn't it?
a good name. I know what they're doing. It's all in one place. We've come full circle. We're back at one.
So does it mean the next one's going to be called Xbox 361 because it's just
Xbox One
But
plus
it's.
one.
I just feel
There
like
shan't be a next one.
I feel like with the name,
what I think.
they thought up the concept of one, and that makes a lot of sense. Like if they call it the Xbox Infinity, the Xbox Everything, they're like, oh, let's make it shorter. The Xbox One, brilliant. And then no one stopped and said, but that sounds like it's the first Xbox again, because that's just such a big thing when you think of it. You can't pull away from it.
especially now when you Google Xbox One, that the new machine doesn't appear. It's the old one that appears.
Exactly.
I'm such a kid from the 80s because I still would like it to be called like the Xbox Power Drive or the Mega Loader
My thinking was
That's a brilliant name. I like this.
the Mega Loader, the Mega Power Loader.
or the,
Hello.
you know like because we grew up with Turtles and Power Rangers and
Yeah.
consoles with names like that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like the Ultra Dino Mega Xbox Zord.
Exactly. The more words in the name, the better it was.
Someone had to be paid to come up with that name. Someone got paid for that.
This is what I think. I think of the excruciating hours, the amount of arguments they must have had to come up. No, the design, like you said, uninspired, would have
Yeah.
taken 4 minutes to design, and the name again. There would have been.
I know.
I'm going to say close to 100 hours of discussion about the name for that console, and that's the end of it.
I think they just ran out of time.
It's not just the box; it's the Kinect as well. Looks hideous.
It's,
it looks
it's
massive.
really. It looks angry to me.
Angular.
Angular and angry, and it just looks very.
I mean-
I think when the PS4 didn't release what it looked like, people were like, "Oh man, but we want to start getting an idea of what it looks like in a living room." And I was like, "That's silly." But then as soon as I saw the new Xbox, the Xbox One, I was like, I don't want that in my living room. I don't want it. It's angry, it's scary, it's square, it's ugly, it's blocky. I can
The
connect
fact
with
that
this one.
you go Xbox on and it turns on, which means A, it doesn't turn off, and B, it's always listening to you. I bet
probably
you
on
Microsoft
standby.
will turn that camera on by themselves and look
Don't
at you.
worry, they've said today they're not doing anything of the sort. So panic over,
That's basically a
everybody.
binding contract.
Yeah.
You can't turn the microphone off either. So it
Yeah, it's
literally is
always
always
recording,
listening.
yeah.
You can't turn it off. It's
can't.
always on. And yes, as Sonny said, because you can turn it on by saying Xbox on, when the console's off, the Kinect is always on, always listening. You know, it like encapsulates all of the sort of paranoia that people have at the moment with breaches of privacy online. I mean, what the
Let's go
Come
play
on.
Watch Dogs.
Come on, guys. Yeah. It's like someone's playing Watch Dogs. And you imagine they look at the screen and then they look at their Kinect 2.0 and they look back at the screen and they're back at their Kinect and they're like, hang on a
I'm
second.
a player in my Connect.
And then the Kinect turns to the player and goes, do not continue this thought process. Everything is fine.
Large men are on their way.
How do you know what I'm thinking?
Just unplug it. Unplug
No,
it.
you can't. No, you can't.
Kinect,
Kinect-
It won't turn on unless the Kinect's connected.
Kinect needs to be plugged
No,
in.
no. I meant the whole plug. Unplug.
And throw it away.
Fire up your 32X. Guaranteed gaming fun.
Go back, yeah.
Apple Pippin. That's one of yours.
Awesome.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
One of your
yeah.
favourites.
Well, it's a lovely name, isn't it?
Never even heard of that.
I mean, Xbox One, the initial system was
Just call it
massive.
Xbox. Call it Xbox, which is
It's
actually
not,
a name.
though.
But that's its name, isn't it?
It's not. It's a.
Like the PlayStation
Brand
1.
confusion.
Like the PlayStation 1 was the PlayStation when it was released, and there's only post.
If I say
the
PlayStation 1,
yeah, but
everyone
like
knows
that
what
was
we're
like
talking
the
about.
PlayStation revive. The PlayStation revision was like
But in the same way that you just
13 years later.
in the same way that you referred to the 360 as just Xbox.
No,
I
every-
think
No,
the
360.
Loads of people call it
Both,
360.
either or. They're both. But you know what you're talking about. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And how to
Yeah,
say
no,
PlayStation
yeah.
3? I could put the PlayStation on. You know?
With regards to the look of the console, Mac adds, just like the Xbox brand in general, lacking personality.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, is the new system going to be bigger than the initial?
It looks
one?
huge.
It
doesn't
looks,
it?
it looks big.
It's bigger than the Slim, that's for sure.
Oh, fucking definitely.
Oh, it's bigger than the main Xbox.
Yeah, big slab of fucking.
Slab, isn't it?
It
That's-
is a slab.
And it's too big.
This is another issue with the conference I had, was that the start of it was so could instantly, you know, there's meme chains of first world problems.
Yeah.
The stuff about, you know how TVs are so hard to use,
Yeah.
and you find it so difficult to change the channel. It was a reading off a list of really insignificant problems they wanted to fix
Changing
for
the
no
in-
reason.
changing the input.
Changing
What
the input,
a
changing the
fucking
channel.
chore. I've sometimes given up.
I've just gone, troll down, I'm
Can't
out.
do it. Can't do it.
Fallen
Get me-
asleep straight
Get
away.
me a book or just shoot me in the face.
And yeah, the thing they spent the first half an hour talking about, what different ways to watch TV, live TV, streaming TV, it's not even available outside the US at all. So
Yeah.
it doesn't even apply to us. Or most people who don't live in America, i.e., most of the world. Yeah, Max says, yeah, maybe you can call your... I said, oh God, what shall I call my Xbox One? And Max said, how about Xbox 0.1.
Oh.
He's good, isn't he?
He's good.
That's Mac live tweeting again. If you want to follow him, go to twitter.com.
It was. I still stand by the fact they did a good job of presenting a conference. I think it's a conference they wanted to do, but they chose they aimed to capture a certain mind share. But why did they get the gaming press in? Why did they put it on gaming websites? Why were they so pimped out to get games when they knew exactly what their action was going to be? Sure, they had to know people weren't going to like it. Start off, get fucking Wired in, get USA Today in, get People Magazine in.
Or since you know it's going to be covered by the gaming press because it's the new fucking Xbox reveal,
which is a games console. It is a games console.
If you're going to do half of your reveal about TV, then just make the other half.
Balance,
can give everyone what they want. Yeah. You can just give the core gamers what they want in the second half, i.e., lots of games and maybe some new features relating to games. Not relating into, oh my Christ Almighty. Sorry.
Did they speak at all about being able to record your shit as you're doing it?
They mentioned a little bit. Brief
bollocks.
Last minute.
How many times did they say cloud?
They didn't say cloud at all.
Yeah, they did.
Not in the conference.
They said cloud, but not loads.
You can save your games.
But the whole idea of
cloud, they've mentioned cloud.
Hey.
Oh, look, I've completed it. Recording a moment.
Yeah.
It just seems bollocks to me.
You don't want to... Haven't you ever... I often want a screen...
Every now and then.
Screenshots. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm...
You haven't got a very artistic eye, though.
That's true.
See, the world...
I think you just don't know. I do.
I think...
Have you seen my painting?
Is as grey as that shirt that you have on. You do wear a lot of grey.
Grey, black, or white? No, grey or black. What's wrong with
what you together?
Grey or dark grey?
Yeah,
it's fine. Nothing, Stuart.
Classic look, mate.
There was a point I was watching the conference last night.
That's going to be used by a lot of people, I think. Streaming. No, just streaming.
It's not a bad
recording
idea.
your footage and streaming.
I mean, like on Miiverse, if people are stuck, you can stick a picture of saying where to go. I mean, it's like a little hint stuff. That's great. But I think what's going to be... There's going to be a lot of people playing Call of Duty.
I love that your example is Miiverse.
Well, it's
all we've got right now.
It's all we've got. I was going to say, but look at social media, like in general, everyone's sharing everything.
Well, that's why it kind of
just like a Miiverse.
It's just another way that you get to see what every fucking prick is doing.
Yeah, but
exactly. That's my point.
You don't need to see it if you don't want to.
Yeah,
true. But it's going to be a lot of people playing Call of Duty and saying, "I just blew this shit up."
Yeah.
It's just going to be that.
But there won't be. But there'll be interesting stuff. The Xbox. They mentioned the sharing. They mentioned uploading very quickly. They didn't say how it's going to be done. Obviously, PS4, that was its kind of big thing almost, was that it's got like it's got a CPU dedicated to it or something.
Well, there's a share button on the controller.
But in terms of the recording, it's always recording. They've got a whole processor dedicated to that. Whereas Xbox just said, and we can have it, which could be, they could trump PS3 or PS4, or it could just be some kind of unused side function.
Well, I don't know exactly how much power we're talking about here, Mike, but all I know is that there are 300,000 servers for Xbox. That's more than the world's computing power in 1999. Pointless statistic.
Pointless. Yeah.
It's a statistic that I can't even quantify. What's the point in that statistic?
It's like, how much does the internet weigh?
So yeah, great. Same as a strawberry.
Last strawberry.
Yeah.
But that was in a QI. I got that from a QI fact book.
Oh, really?
So, and we all know that Stephen Fry is the bottom.
He likes them.
Homophobia.
He is the, the authority on
this nation always needs a Stephen Fry.
This country. So, does it have to be online? Well, yes.
I know.
Once a day.
Yes,
but it's mainly yes.
Maybe.
But it's mainly yes, because at first they're like, no, you don't need to always be connected online. You can watch Blu-rays, you can play single-player games.
It's got a Blu-ray drive in it. I love it.
After the Adam Orth furore about dealing with it, shall we say?
Don't be a whiny little bitch.
But they then all those rumours were sort of debunked due to that leaked memo.
Yeah.
But now, yesterday they said, no, you don't need to be always connected. And then they're like, well, eventually, who was this? Phil Harrison.
Yeah.
He was asked, how often does the console need to connect to the online space? And the answer was, I believe, every 24 hours.
Daily, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
You don't have to always be connected, but you do always have to connect.
Yeah, so you still couldn't say go on holiday to a log cabin with your family
and your Xbox
and just a TV but no internet and just take your Xbox.
But but again, this is part of it, is blowing things out of proportion. Is that the worst case scenario more. Who actually takes their console, especially when it's that big?
Not everywhere in the world has good.
No.
But it just needs to connect. It needs to touch base and
No,
ping,
no,
a
no.
bit of information back and ping a little, get a little
some
answer back.
games apparently run off the cloud, so
This is what they said. Yeah.
so it would
You can
have to.
store everything in the cloud, yeah?
They
They said you can store like everything in it.
No, as in the games won't run off the Xbox; it'll run off the internet. So you do need to actually, even for single player, you would need to be connected to the internet.
okay. So again, to cut through it, they said this was a developer choice. They've not made it always connected. It's made it an option, and it's up to the developer to do it.
Right.
Which on paper sounds good, but then suddenly you get a fragmented user base where suddenly some games are online only, so you suddenly have to get boxes with online only printed on it. They have to create a whole new branding system and that's a problem for people, like you say, because then it gives developers power to do something quite good for them, i.e. really cut out piracy, really give them control, but then also gives them the power to fuck over still a significant percentage of people who might buy this console.
Talking about piracy.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed 4.
Yeah, how about that new game?
Wasn't even there, was it? Oh, PlayStation wins!
I'm not even looking forward to that.
No, but
Just because it's going to be shiny.
the info about
3
second-hand
was boring.
games, about
Oh, it's a big one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, oh god, yeah.
it's complex and it's kind of muddied.
This is the reason why the online pass is gone now from EA.
Yeah, I know. It's so... Oh, God, it was so obvious. Online passes are gone, and, like, some people are genuinely celebrating, and then they come and announce this. And basically, what you're talking about is mandatory installs. Stuart?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have much else to say, to be honest, because
Sorry.
You're Stuart Fenn.
Once
kind
you've
of-
done,
you
you've
kind of-
interrupted Stuart.
I know,
just like you did.
But
It's a running gag. I'm waiting for Mike to interrupt me.
I know, but I thought, like...
One of the things that annoyed me about it, though, it means that I can't lend you a game.
Yeah, well... But again...
More importantly,
you can for a
you
fee.
can't lend me a game.
Okay, so basically,
Yeah,
if you
an
don't...
unknown fee.
If you don't know, this is now talking to the listener, every game, it's almost definite, but they've said every game will require mandatory installation. The hard drive's only 500 gig, and not all of that is available to you for installs, so that's another issue. But yes, once you've installed it, you can also play it disc-free, which is cool. Helps with loading times, etc.
It's all good, yeah.
But if you then want to use that disc on any other system, you then need to pay a fee to reinstall it.
It's tagged to your profile. All you have to do is sign into your profile.
I was going to say that.
And you can use it there.
When you say profile, if you've got 2 profiles on the system, can that second person not play that game
Yes,
then?
yes.
On the console they can, yeah.
On the console. Apparently, though, it said through parental controls. A lot of it seems vague at the moment, but yeah,
It's contradictory as well.
What Stuart was alluding to is that, yes, if I wanted to take FIFA 14 round to Stuart's house and play it there with him, which I do regularly with you.
We do
Twice
that
a
a
week.
lot. We do it in our football kits.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
We play some
I'm always
FIFA.
skins though, aren't I? I'm always
Yeah, I
skins.
know, it's unfortunate, mate.
But then I could take that round your house and then sign in as me, and we could play that disc at your house.
Yes, we could.
But anytime, but if I sold it to you, lent it to you, and I wasn't there,
Yep.
or basically you didn't have access to my profile, you'd have to pay a fee to install it again. So basically, that's how second-hand game sales are going to work on the Xbox. But I again think it's good because. Is that money now getting to developers?
We don't know.
It should. I know that's something I've sort of assumed would happen.
Yeah.
And that could only be a good thing, right?
So.
For me, though, the idea that it's just a furtherance of the idea, which is everywhere now, that you do not own that. You do not own that content. You haven't bought it. Because
You do, though.
if you'd bought it, you'd be able to do with what you want with it. You
It's
bought
the-
it.
I don't buy or sell secondhand.
It's like
So it doesn't affect me. But
I rent a lot of games, it does affect me. But,
Yeah.
I don't play Xbox games, so it doesn't affect me.
I Max says, all the fanboyism aside, I'm worried this will be shit. I want a reason to buy all 3 consoles again, but I'm just not seeing one yet.
Matt can never put fanboy aside.
And this kind of comes to the main point, which is that I as much as I was hoping to see Microsoft cock it up, I didn't think they would as badly as they did with the core gamer, because I think they did do a good mainstream message. I think it's still crazy the amount of hate and throwing them out, because E3 is still to come.
Yeah.
And you'd assume that their games are there. They're not that stupid.
Yeah, there's going to be new Halo, sure.
But they've
Yeah, that's another thing relating to TV. Is that really the time and place to announce a Halo TV series?
well better than an E3.
Unless it's an exclusive, unless you can only watch it on an Xbox, which they may do. But still, it's like, we'd like to announce a new Halo TV series.
Yeah,
Come on, guys, you love Steven Spielberg.
Look at his little
There he is.
face. But do it then rather than E3.
Where was Usher?
it's the appeal of a TV show spun off from a bland video game universe. What?
One of the blandest.
A
It
film would
is.
have been good. It would have been a concrete 2.5 hour look at the universe from a different angle.
Yeah.
And there could have been some material there.
Done by Neil Blomkamp as well.
Yes, exactly. Imagine a 10-series run of Halo.
Guys, again, I didn't hear anyone else talk about this, but when he had that quote-unquote live Skype conversation, the questions and answers didn't seem to match up. It's like, so, thanks for joining me today to show how easy it is to Skype through Xbox. Yeah, I've had a great day. I'm just watching the basketball.
There's a lot in there that...
What's your favourite thing about the new Xbox? Chicken wings. I'm going to have... I've got some left over for lunch, so I'm going to have them tonight.
If it's all as slick as that, I don't believe it does. If it really does go Xbox Sky, Xbox this, Xbox game to internet is cool. If it's that quick, if it really is, then yay, well done. They've got something I'm interested in.
I'm sure it will be, but the dashboard looked really
the
similar.
Same, yeah.
But then
that's
that's part of their plan. The slow transition.
And a nice new tab trending.
Because there's trending, yeah.
Fuck off.
I know,
it looks like Windows 8, which is horrendous.
We all saw this conference coming before it happened.
The problem is that conference was always going to be compared with the Sony one.
Yeah.
And that's where it failed.
They are sure, but for us again,
For us, yes.
I do think it was a good console, and to be honest, I think it was a better conference because it produced more amusing tweets. By a long way.
It's an interesting way to rate things.
Yeah. How many degrading and hilarious tweets can you get people doing?
I mean,
and trying to see people who are trying to be neutral, like journalists, who obviously don't want to burn bridges, to being like, really liked the enthusiasm, but man, I didn't like anything.
I will say a lot
there.
of that whooping came from Microsoft employees.
Must have, man. There were some journalists they cheered that were just...
No, because Adam Sessler said on Twitter, that's not journalists whooping.
No,
yeah. Can I also just say that speaking about journalists being professional on Twitter, who was that EA guy? Who was that EA guy who just went, the Wii is crap.
The Wii U.
The Wii U is crap. Come on, it's a piece of shit. It's like
brilliant.
And obviously this happened a week after the Adam Orth, or like a couple of weeks after. It's like, do you guys not, when you're about to tweet something, do you not think, could this get me fired?
How high was he?
If the answer is anywhere near yes.
He was a senior software developer.
Yeah,
he worked
how
on...
high was he when he was doing this?
Like
hey,
50 moons to the wind.
Because he was a senior software developer.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's quite interesting because EA have announced today that they're making Wii U games again. So
have they?
Yeah, they announced today.
Oh, what did they say? What they're doing?
I don't know. They didn't announce which one.
They're doing Assassin's Creed 3 Complete Edition. Even though that's not EA, they're doing
FIFA 9.
FIFA 9 with Wii U with like double screen features.
Sure.
I thought it was just FIFA and Madden that they said they weren't making.
No.
They said no games in development
at all. And then they said, and then today went, actually, we have got games in development.
Oh shit, we forgot about those guys, those hundreds of guys.
They were doing the really good work. I think one of the other things I thought was funny, I was watching the Xbox conference. I was playing my Wii U at the time, playing Super Metroid.
No, you weren't. Oh, right.
Super Metroid's great.
I was going to say, if it's not a 30p virtual console game, then what were you playing? Because that's
Super Metroid.
All that I'm playing.
Yeah.
And did you see, by the way, all that Why Can't Metroid Crawl? Those...
No, what's that? Why Can't Metroid Crawl?
Metroid's... You're not confusing Samus with Metroid.
He is, but it's fine.
What a green one.
No, it's not me making a mistake, dickhead.
He doesn't make mistakes.
He is the mistake. It's part of the never fucking mind.
Actually, this is one thing I like about Fenn. He likes to get facts right.
He does. And I was playing the old...
Quite a lot. The internet, believe it or not.
I was playing the old Wii U and Super Metroid and watching the conference, and the guy goes, don't you hate it when you can't do two things at once with your console and your TV? And I'm like, I am doing two things.
We learned
at
how
once.
to do different things ages ago.
Wii U, screen.
You can now shrink the screen with your hand,
which is cool if it works.
Now,
and that's it really for me. It just didn't work for as a core gamer level, and it failed in so many ways. But E3 could turn it round. Let's see.
Probably will.
Games at E3. So there's no backwards compatibility with retail games, just like the PS4.
Yep.
It's something that we should never expect, but it's also something that people are really, really mad about. The worst thing is that digital titles, again like the PS4, won't carry over. And that's fine, Microsoft, as long as you promise me now that I can play all of my digital content on my 360 that I've bought from now until the end of time. Because let me tell you this, right now, you need to be connected to Xbox Live to play that shit. Yeah. So what's going to happen when they go, we're switching... I know it's going to be all nicely integrated for a while, but there's going to be a point where they're like, we're discontinuing 360 bullshit. Yeah. And I've got a large library of Rock Band games. Rock Band songs.
This was exactly my question, wasn't it? Because if you're offline, you've just got access to essentially to a demo, haven't you?
Yeah.
So... That's pure bullshit. I've bought, again, it's about ownership of these things. I've bought them, and I know the license agreement will say something along the lines of, reserve the right any
Doesn't
time
make it right.
to withdraw this service. It does not make it right. You've paid money for it. You paid a lot of money for it in terms of Rock Band catalog, no doubt.
Yeah.
And
Pounds.
maybe what's the harm in just like opening it up? When
All it would take is to put Rock Band 4 on Xbox. Just a downloadable app, just so you can play your songs through it, and just put the game through there.
that is an issue that's been nagging at me for it keeps me awake at night.
It is annoying though, because it's like no one's challenging them, so nothing's going to be done about it.
I think if you look at the agreement, they say you license it, you don't own it. It's like Apple, you license it.
Yeah,
it's
still
you're technically borrowing it.
The corporate fat cats can put that in their fine print all they like.
They can shove it up their arse as far as
it
I'm
doesn't stop
concerned.
them from being massive wanker twats.
Yeah, huge ones.
Max says, quote unquote, "It's going to remember all the things you like," end quote. Sweet, cue a million adverts whilst I pay my Xbox Gold subscription and pay $25 to play the game I borrowed from a friend. Thanks, micro shit. Zing!
I must say, I mean, that was when he was like, it's going to remember what you like, it's going to remember what you love. Again, that was exactly my thought. I'm sure it was a thought shared by the majority of people. You're not original, Mac.
Shut the fuck up, Mac.
But
I wish you would.
I didn't like calling him Mac. James. I called him James.
Oh, interesting.
No, don't confuse listeners. He's Mac.
He's Mac.
Mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Your gamer score will carry over, as will your avatar. The friend list will be 1,000 strong.
Oh, jeez.
So your score will carry over. Your Xbox Live subscription is one Xbox Live subscription.
Carries on, if you've got 12 months and it's 6 months in, it still goes.
Yeah.
There was no price point chat yesterday, was there?
No.
No.
Now, there was talk a couple of weeks ago about a split price point, one of which included a subscription.
I think that's been canned.
Yeah?
Well,
don't.
I think it's going to
entirely
happen.
know.
I think both consoles are going to do it because it makes too much sense.
Well, PlayStation Plus has shown itself to be the future of gaming.
It has.
And if you could
It has.
if you give 2 years of sign up for 2 years of PlayStation Plus, which would be all like £80,
Yeah.
and give them a console for £250.
That £80 is money well spent.
I'd
Money
pay,
spent for them, and you might still get a bit more money back from discount. It gives them free stuff, but you'll get a bit more spending and get people used to the store as well.
This
Get
sounds
people
like
online.
This sounds like I'm asking for too much, but I would because PlayStation Plus is so good. Like I seriously, if PlayStation Plus was a man, I would get down on my knees and lick his balls.
I thought all you were saying about PlayStation Plus was a joke. I've just misrepresented my entire position.
It used to be,
What?
But I would pay a bit more with my subscription to get like a new game, like a brand new game every month.
Yeah, if there were, there should be tiers. Definitely.
Sorry, Stu. What's the problem with PlayStation Plus? I mean, as someone who actually isn't. Like you don't. I imagine you've got very little face time with the service. Am I right?
Well, I've got a PlayStation 4, 3.
What?
And there it is.
He's got a PlayStation 1, which is the newest one.
I've got a Super PlayStation
Listen.
64.
Listen to me.
Never.
Why?
Can you easily get people into games? Is there a unified system of inviting people into games? No, there isn't. Is there a nice handy party system for moving between
That's
games?
the same
and
thing.
like that? Is there...
Hold on, wait a minute. No, you don't understand what I'm talking about. PlayStation Plus, the subscription service where you get loads of games.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
still...
yes. I'm talking about PlayStation Plus.
Stop it! Talking about PlayStation Network.
He's unplugging. Stuart's unplugging all of the cables.
He's off.
Look, I've drunk a whole beer. Okay, shit, no, sorry, I'm just wrapping that up with the whole idea of PlayStation Online service being rubbish.
Not rubbish. Slightly worse.
Xbox Live Arcade and indie games are going away. There won't be any.
It's all
It won't be called Xbox. It'll just be games.
Yeah, it's all getting rolled up into just one channel, isn't it? And Phil Housen yesterday was talking about how good that is because, it's a true meritocracy where anything can be pushed to the fore.
Some
Guy in the interview made a very good point that, well, really, indie games and XBLA games need a little bit of an artificial push because they're not the sort of things which, they drown in the fucking noise. That's a mixed metaphor there.
It's got harder and harder and harder. No, you're right. It's got harder and harder
They
and harder
suffocate in the porridge.
to find Xbox Live
Yes.
games, to find...
So it's going to be, so who pays the most to put their game front and centre? Oh, the large publishers.
But today,
Surprise, yeah.
today they announced they're not making any concessions for indie games though as well. They actually this is the thing that I think before the PlayStation conference I said they should keep all the bad news and save it until after the conference. But in fact, during the conference there wasn't bad news, but there was hints of bad news, and afterwards there's just been torrents of more and more bad news. And this was one today, literally saying that even though PS4 and Wii have both said that it's now you can indie games can self-publish on PS4 and Wii U.
Yeah.
Xbox, they've literally said you can't. They haven't said we're thinking about it. They said nah, you can't.
You
can't self-publish.
Still need the publisher license.
Still need a publishing right. Still need a publisher signed to you. You can't self-publish.
They effectively abandoned the indie gaming channel a couple of years ago, year and a half ago.
Well, no, they just buried it, and now they're literally getting rid of it. And
I mean,
it's
effectively abandoned. That's what I mean.
I mean, Summer of Arcade is like a massive feather in the Xbox's cap.
like
for
an
me.
ostrich feather, something big.
Yes. Yeah, like a peacock feather.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a whole peacock.
Just like the
He's a
whole tail
peacock
like a
in their
peacock,
hat.
Yeah.
But yeah, Xbox Summer of Arcade has been something I look forward to ever since like Shadow Complex, and it's always been great. And yet, let's get rid of. It's
Yeah.
dangerous. I mean, I it's very logical. Games are games, and you know, games are games, and a £40 retail game is the same as a £3 indie game, technically.
Except it's not.
But yeah,
at all.
I mean, you're still a games console. You need. It's like we can. Yeah, like you said, Phil Harrison, we'll get rid of the labels and just have games, and we'll take that all up and we'll bury it on the farthest blade that you can scroll to, and it'll be hidden within a load of ridiculous search filters.
It's funny. I think Summer of Arcade seems so good because back in the day, consoles didn't do sales like Steam did. That was the biggest thing you could get with a console sale.
It's not just the sale; it's the event.
Sure, event.
Loads of new great downloadable games.
Steam just do great sales though.
Well, of course.
It's one of the great and terrible things about them. You know, it's because all of us and all of you out there have probably got a ton.
Talking to you now, the listener.
I've got a ton of unplayed games.
I've played
Yeah,
every
they-
game I bought on Steam.
Have you?
Maybe for less
just for the sake of like
than
being able to say
maybe
that.
1 or 2 minutes for someone.
It's like I bought like like a I think it was THQ pack.
Oh god, yeah.
Ages ago, and then I got about 40 games out of it. I wanted 3 games, and the rest of them, they're just sitting there, greyed out in my list. But Tropico, that was on Tropico 4, £6.50. That was on the Steam sale
I
yesterday.
bought Civ 4
Bought
just
it.
to hear Baba Yetu because Jamie Rathbone had been going about it for so long, so I bought the fucking game and just listened to the intro and stopped.
Baba Yetu, is that the guy in the intro?
Baba
What's Baba Yetu?
Yeah, Baba.
I don't know.
Not even BAFTA.
I've played that game a lot.
Maybe Civ 5. Civ 4? Which one came out recently? Civ 5.
Don't know.
It's Civ 5.
Civ 4 is the one Baba Yetu in it. No, Civ 4 and Baba
We've
Yetu.
gone off topic.
So there's like that guy in the intro. What am I talking about? There's like an old guy in the intro.
Hello, hey,
Looks
the
like
old
his name-
civilization, man.
Looks like his name might be Baba Yetu.
We need.
The one thing looking just quickly before we can move on to E3, I think in the end Microsoft are in a strong position because they are capturing a market that isn't being captured right now. And a lot of people look at these consoles now and have been saying, "Oh, PC actually is probably the best way to go." And PS4 does look great,
Right.
but because they're embracing indie, but really everything the PS4 does, PC does.
Okay.
So actually, I'm feeling like PS4. I love it. I'm going to get it, but it's kind of being left in a gap that can only be filled by PlayStation exclusives, which will be great but don't sell.
Well,
So I
yeah.
think Microsoft actually have done well. They suck. I hate them. I always have, but they are going to do well. And PS4 is in trouble, I think.
I don't think so. I
No
think
way.
PS4 would do better than the
it's
Xbox.
the
I
last.
hope so.
It's the last refuge for the core console gamer.
But how many of them are there really? If the
Loads.
console doesn't sell,
Loads. Let me tell you, just from looking at the social network of the past 24 hours, the general people are saying, "Fuck you, Microsoft! I'm buying a PlayStation 4," and that has been. I mean, what happened to Sony stock? It
those-
rose 9.1%.
Xbox has dropped as well.
Those general people, not representative cross section of society.
Of core gamers.
Those are your friends.
The Metro, BuzzFeed, they were all saying
of
it
core
was
gamers.
Metro,
Yeah,
and
sure,
BuzzFeed
okay.
were two of the more mainstream things I follow, and they both were like, "This is hands down 100 times better than the Sony conference." They might sell more, but they won't have our hearts. They may have the money, but they don't have our fucking hearts.
What
So
are you
they-
on-
me
what are you
corazón.
on about?
I think I know what they'd rather have, even if I don't understand
Hearts.
quite what you're saying.
I'm saying they're gonna win out. They're gonna sell more. I'm saying that the Xbox One, still saying 720, will sell more than PS4.
Let's just call it
But
720.
PS4 will still have been will be regarded as more well on
I
a
don't
console
think
ahead
that.
of its
I
life
don't
cycle.
think the new Xbox will reach that mass market, mainly because we don't know the price yet. And people would rather probably get an iPad or a tablet, Android tablet, because it'd probably be cheaper. Games would be cheaper on it.
I think it'll be
It's-
$350.
Really?
360. That'd be ironic. They'd price it at 360.
I think it'd be £1.
and that'd be a marketing stunt.
Xbox 720. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Poor name, Microsoft. I mean, like I said,
Right, better name now.
Xbox
Infinity.
Tornado.
Xbox. Nextbox.
Next Xbox. I like
I
next.
just
Xbox.
said one. The Xbox Tornado.
Next
Xbox
Xbox.
64.
You're gonna fire up your we play.
Yeah.
Oi, mate, we're playing Tornado tonight. Yeah,
Tornado.
Yeah, I'll get on a
yeah.
bit of Tornades tonight.
Right, the
What,
Xbox.
thieves, cods.
Pretty good.
Next
pretty
Xbox.
Good. I like Xbox like Firestorm. That's not bad.
What were the what do we think the Pool of Duties will call?
Or the Xbox Juans.
It'll just be Xbox. Onesie.
Xbox.
It might be a onesie.
Xbox One.
Juan.
Did you what you just said?
Pretty good, mate.
It's good. yeah.
I didn't write that down in my notepad from yesterday.
PS4.
PS Phils.
No.
PS4.
Because that doesn't work. It's Battlefield.
Battlefield.
Barryfield. Anyway.
X1.
It needs.
The problem with that,
it needs some games that people are going to fall in love with.
the problem with X1 is that in Japan
X means a bad thing.
It means a bad thing.
Yeah, but 4 means death.
Yeah, I know.
PS4.
That's interesting, isn't
Tony Lasoya.
Being foreign means you get looked down upon. Come on. Sorry.
Tony Lasoya is very happy that Ready Game Fire are coming back. He said, "Yay! I thought you guys were dead, or busy living life and stuff." Thanks, Tony. That's very sweet.
But he's now reassured that in fact no one has been doing that.
We've definitely not been out living our lives.
Or dead. Everyone is alive.
We've been watching.
I can confirm that everyone on this episode is alive. Kai may have died in his sleep. Dallimore may have had a tragic polo accident or rowing problem.
Polo Quidditch accident.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's posh.
Very posh.
I've met someone posher than Dallimore.
You've met the Queen.
No. It was on the Mate Stag Do, and we were doing clay pigeon shooting.
Yeah.
And it was my first time doing it, so I got a few, and I was quite happy. He got 13 out of 14. I was thinking, yeah, you did that at PE whilst we were just playing football. He was doing clay pigeon shooting and then peasant shooting straight after.
Have you not perfected your shooting with the Wii remote?
See, you've met
I've not
Dallimore.
used, this is the first time I've used live ammo.
Oh my god.
You've met Dallimore around us.
Oh yeah, imagine him in his
None
prime.
of us have met him with his peers.
His ilk.
You know, exactly. We're oiks.
Oiks and not
His
ilk.
ilk are
Imagine
not us. He's rich! It's the worst thing I can stick at him.
On the last Ready Game Fire episode, like you said that you weren't posh, and also revealed that your school had stables in the same sentence. but he said, but then he was like, I didn't say we had stables, but he did.
He
Do you
did.
remember?
No, he said they weren't in the school. They were down the road or something.
Yeah, it's nice.
Still in the grounds.
Yeah,
but
so
they're in the same
but
complex.
not in the actual
I can't.
pool.
My school has got
Christ.
a cricket pitch on it, so.
So hold on.
that's normal.
Oh yeah, my school.
Yeah, that's regular.
My school had fucking like mobile, those like
We had an
fucking
observatory.
sheds that you have
Yeah.
on like a building site.
Music huts, yeah.
We had like 12 of those as
classrooms.
classrooms.
Yeah, so did
Yeah,
we,
too.
yeah.
It's fucked up.
So Sonny, I mean, we all know you're a highly positive guy, and
yes.
you're even more positive when you talk about the current gaming events in rhyme form.
Oh God, here we go again.
So here's Sonny as he delivers the positive side of gaming with Sunny Side Up.
Keep your funny side up. Don't let your laughter come through. Do-do-do, stand up on your legs. Be like 2 fried eggs. Keep your sunny side up.
So, Sonny, what have you written today's poem about?
Well,
Comics.
what I've allegedly written. It's about the Xbox One rule, apparently.
Sonny always putting a positive spin on things.
Sunny disposition.
Yep.
I don't understand everyone and their reaction to the Xbox One. That huge block of steel made me what? Made me let out a squeal.
You just did it.
How
literally.
does it? How does it? So many things is the bomb.
How it does so many things.
Whatever. But I don't agree.
Get him on TV. This is good.
I don't agree with this statement.
I like the way you ran for 1-1, by the way, Sonny. Bell end. Pray continue with the epic poem.
Try not to read it.
That's a weird way to read.
You can watch lots of live TV and even stream shows from TV. Though it's only US, getting this at launch, I must stress. Still, though, Americans can watch live TV. Who cares if there's no backwards compatibility? Connect 2.0 makes up for that, it's clear to me. You can't turn off the mic, so don't insult Microsoft. They got footage of you in the nudie. There's a new dog in COD. Did you see it? It will be there at launch day. I'll drive in my Fiat. It's not always online. Actually, it's always online. Xbox One is the best thing ever. Hashtag deal with it.
Hey,
Nice,
Sonny!
nice.
Oh my God, you do see the positive side of everything.
I really wanted to criticise that.
Please do.
I don't think I can. I
No,
don't
I
think there's a
can't.
single point I
It's
could pick
cheered
up
me up.
on with that, which isn't positive.
I mean, this is what happens: is that you're upset about something, and you think things can't get any worse, and then Sunny Side Up kicks in, and you're like, I am sunnier now.
I'm going to get a reputation for liking all this
To
shit.
be a positive, I'm going to get a reputation for smiling. I better go punch some people on the way home.
I
Level
like
it all out.
I like the multiple usage of rhyming the same word with the same
Yeah,
word,
it's
which
very
I
classy.
originally thought was just stupidity, but then I
charming.
realised was a technique. Like influenced by stupidity, but still a technique.
Born
being
of.
used. Yeah.
There's a reason why Sunny Side Up is the longest running, and Mike added earlier, the most consistent
Oh, yeah.
Game Fire feature. So
It's a winner.
Because you're
I think Fuck Mike
unfair
Power's done
on-
quite well.
Yeah, Fuck Mike Power was. I mean,
it's never
fuck
happened.
Mike Power, man. It's
Oh, Stuart's new feature.
it's,
Stuart's feature
it's
coming
a
back.
big problem that he's still coming on this show. No one wants him here. No one likes his face. It's probably wise that is only an audio recording.
Yeah.
Well,
But fuck
who
him.
knows how long that
And
was.
fuck him right in the arse.
But,
Fuck him.
seriously, fuck Mike Power, sure. Well, if you want to write Sunny a positive gaming poem for him to read out live on air, it's contact@readygamefire.co.uk.
Are we getting these people to do it now?
Please
God's
send
sake, it's gonna
in
be shite.
your poems.
Oh, please do. That would be. I'd love to see. I'd love to pick the best.
I would
stuff.
like to write a poem.
You can do it, mate.
Well, send it to Sunny at contact@readygamefire.co.uk. He is our poet laureate, and he will be delivering rhyming words, what you write.
I might write an acrostic.
Oh, not acrostic.
It's the highest form of poetry.
Are you going to do it like a haiku as well, just to make it harder?
If you're going to do a haiku, tweet it, because they're short.
No, I'll fit. Yeah.
And if you're going to
you
do something
will-
longer,
Just do.
don't write it now, Stu.
Are you writing your acrostic now?
He's writing it now.
Writing a haiku.
E3! God! It's under a month away. Some of us are going to be going. So.
I entered a PlayStation Access contest, so I'm definitely going to win.
Did you? E3 is just round the corner. Yes! So we've spoken a lot about what Microsoft has shown pre-E3, but now we're going to talk about our E3 hopes and fears. Sonny, you're representing Nintendo today, as you do in life. Same with Mike and Sony, and pretty much Fenn with his Xbox. Why aren't you guys showing up to E3?
Well,
What's going on?
Too good for it, aren't they? I think they're too good for it.
big brass ball boys?
Slightly
well,
above
no, there's no conference, but there's going to be games on show there from Nintendo. So I think Mario is going to be playable, Mario Kart, maybe Smash Brothers,
I
Zelda, Wind Waker HD.
Smash Bros will be
Viewable.
talked about
Yeah.
at Nintendo.
How much
Maybe-
are they
maybe
gonna
a
add?
trailer.
Talked about the next Nintendo Direct. They'll be talked about.
I'm looking forward to seeing the next Mario Kart, obviously.
But,
Like, secretly, it's
thing
one of
is-
the things I'm really excited.
No, yeah, no, it's no secret. It's,
Alright,
it's fucking
you know,
amazing.
But I think it goes back after the Sony conference in February. I asked you to tweet, is E3 still relevant? Because, Sony had their conference, Nintendo do these directs, Microsoft had a conference before E3.
Big win.
Yeah, but only because they just want to get out of the gate first, I think. I mean...
It's not.
and
I think it's more of a response to what Sony did than anything else.
Yeah, no, I mean both of them. But it's also that they have too much to announce in one conference.
Yeah.
You know, it can't be like a 3-hour-long conference. So
Well-
I mean, it's just splitting it up, which I think is clever, and it also, don't forget they tried to get rid of E3 and it didn't work. It came
There's
back.
always going to need to be some.
Yeah, E3
large,
needs to be there.
Unfortunately, you're at a disadvantage because there isn't a Nintendo press conference. But are we going to get any surprises from Nintendo? Like
Hopefully, because Miyamoto keeps saying he's working on something original. I do want to see that.
they're not going to reveal it though at E3. It's a shame.
No, it'd be a Nintendo Direct. But
During
no,
E3,
It'll
E3.
be the day
during
before.
this Sony conference. Fuckers.
But they've got a conference for retailers. I think there's a private one for press.
That's
But
them
not
on
for-
their knees begging, please stock our console.
There is a Nintendo conference for press.
Yeah, maybe a private one. I think what they want to do is, instead of the hustle bustle of the E3, they'll have the press sitting down in a room, nice and quiet, and play the game. So they've got time. They don't have to rush around.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why
they'll be at their booth. Their booth will have meeting rooms at the side of it.
I know the booth
They'll have space to do
They'll
it.
have the standard booth, but I think
Yeah.
they'll have another room.
Well, yeah, I
which is
mean,
behind
booths
doors.
sometimes come
which,
with it.
which is what E3 should be. It
I
shouldn't
think
be
it's-
But
this
that is
whole.
how these things are set up. There are like
I think
It shouldn't be this whole.
meeting rooms behind them.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's fucking smart of Nintendo. I think they've absolutely nailed this. The directs are awkward but awesome.
Because
Yeah.
there's no marketing BS. It's just games.
Yeah,
Thing
And
is,
they-
though, who watches Nintendo Directs?
the viewing
Everyone.
figures are pretty high.
Yeah, but who are the main viewers of Nintendo Directs?
Nintendo
It'll be Nintendo fans, but journalists
Who-
will watch it as well.
Yeah, but my point is, it's people who watch them are people who know what's going on, and people who don't know what's going on, who maybe need to be told information, aren't going to be watching the Nintendo Direct.
Oh, this is where Nintendo will have that private section for
But
ABC.
without a conference, mainstream press, you won't see an article in the Metro the day after E3.
Yeah.
You won't see that article, which is problematic. But to be honest, for Nintendo right now, as it's always been, they need to actually build their actual console up from their core base before they can expand it. So they're still trying to capture that, and before they can even start thinking about trying to get a wider thing, they actually need to get this console to sell to people who should be buying this fucking
And
thing.
I think come the end of the year they'll have a better library, and it should
Oh,
start.
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
once Mario Kart,
It's kind of frustrating though, because I think they need to be scared, because when they keep getting bailed out by this, like the same pattern, oh, Mario and Zelda will save us. That keeps happening, and they do keep getting saved by Mario and Zelda sales figures, and it means that they don't have to change anything about the, quite frankly, piss poor way they're doing things.
but then people have to vote with their wallets if they don't want Mario Kart and Mario.
That's
don't
what
buy
I'm saying.
it. But
That's
they
what I'm
do.
saying. It's, yeah, I know, but it's a shame that it's almost a shame that they keep getting bailed out by that, because if they didn't have that safety net, it would force them to try. It would force them to just release a higher volume of games.
But isn't that game? But isn't their reaction to failing the GameCube to Wii though? Their reaction to failure was to try something completely different and appeal to a fickle market. So, I mean, admittedly, they wouldn't make the same mistake twice, but it's not always going to work out.
Here's what I want from Nintendo: if you're going to basically, indirectly or not, alienate third parties, you need to ramp up your fucking production line.
mad.
I mean, aren't there? You know,
How's Pikmin 3 not out?
It's out
Yeah.
a couple of months.
But I mean, do Nintendo not have? They've got Retro, right? Do they have any other studios? Because they need to be rolling out the games
True.
quicker.
I
Like
agree.
3DS had a steady. 3DS is nailing it right now.
It is, but the thing is with Nintendo, what a lot of third parties learned in 2005 was that HD gaming takes up a lot of resources, and this is what they're learning now.
Yeah.
I mean, they said it with Pikmin. They
Yeah.
underestimated how much development time it would take.
It's like, come on, guys, it's
So-
2013. Do you know what I mean?
They underestimated it. Hopefully, we'll see a ramp up next
You
year.
say that they've been 3 Mass Effect games, fucking.
But they're not
God of
Nintendo.
War, 3 Uncharted, and the time they put out a Pikmin game. Like, I mean, that's crazy.
No, but Pikmin was on the Wii, but then they thought it looked better on the Wii U, it'd play better on the Wii. But
What do you want to see?
I want to see original content.
Yeah.
Brand new IP. I want to see that. I think they've done it on the 3DS with 4-Box, Pushmo, Dylan's Rolling Western. They're small games, but they're original IP.
At
Yeah,
least-
they're,
at least,
they're,
yeah,
a,
at
they're
least
a
there's that, yeah,
start.
yeah.
They're but that's
I-
very thin.
No, but it is still new IP. That's
Sure.
the thing. It's there.
Well,
They're getting
Dylan's
there.
Rolling Western, the first original Nintendo IP since Pikmin.
No, well, Wii Sports is an original IP.
Oh, God.
No, but it's still.
Let's not count out Wii Sports, gentlemen.
We love Wii Sports.
I mean, let's all look back and complain about the Wii if you want.
No, I'm not going
But
to.
basically, it's how many months since the Wii U's launch? 6 months, let's say.
Yeah.
And I'm not playing anything. 6 months after the Wii came out, everybody in my student house
Still
was
playing,
still playing
yeah,
Wii
yeah,
Sports.
yeah.
No, Stuart?
WarioWare.
No,
Not really.
no, they weren't, were they?
He wasn't
really,
a student at that
not
time.
really.
I'm playing Super Metroid,
Just
and
reading-
Super Metroid's a really good game.
Just reading Match magazine. That we're used to.
How far
Still,
in are you?
No, 442 by then. I mean,
If you get on
it's a
Miiverse,
glossy,
people are so
it's not
stuck on it,
a
it's
kid's
brilliant.
mag.
right? Mike, what do you think Nintendo? What do you want to see Nintendo do at E3?
Well, I mean, I want to see Smash Brothers, but I'm worried it's going to be maybe they're probably going to reveal the name and the tag, be it Super Smash Brothers Crunch or something like that. But
Sounds like a granola bar.
exactly, yeah. They were found the super. Oh, it'll be called Super Smash Brothers 1
Universe.
Oh,
it's gonna be amazing.
There's a wrestling tag team called the Super Smash Brothers.
Are they? Oh, that
Isn't
sounds
that,
really.
isn't that brilliant?
It's
Oh, it's
Only watch
it's not Shoot
wrestling during
magazine, so I'm not
WrestleMania,
interested.
so-
why are you so
only joking.
aggressive with
No,
me?
I'm only joking.
What is this?
I don't know.
What's
some
what's
sort
the
of
feeling? I read some good wrestling stuff the other day.
Sexual tension between the
There
two.
is definitely.
What's
I don't. They're gonna be. They're gonna
crappy,
have
the
stuff.
five
I want to.
craziest.
I want to see them do before E3 opens. A really good Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
And
There is
now-
one before
and now-
E3.
yeah, I hope so. And now, so that before the people go in the door, they'll know what's going to be there. It's a big surprise. There'll be a Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, and something. Oh man! And 3D Zelda would obviously be wicked.
Just a little bit. It's great that within all of us gamers, well, with all gamers worth their salt, there's still, no matter how
Nintendo
big or
feels to
small,
break out.
a Nintendo fanboy within all of us. It's diminished to a teeny tiny speck
It's still
within
there.
some of us, but it still comes bubbling out.
Give it a bit of lime water, and it'll.
It's like he's looking at a buffet going, oh, the Mario, and the Zelda, the topping on that. And the Zelda, oh my god. It's just the way you went, oh my god. And,
Exactly. It was the thought of it again. I mean, obviously, new IP would be great.
Don't care.
Whoa!
Don't care.
Relax.
All right, Stuart Fenn, what would you
Hang on,
like
hang
to
on.
see for Nintendo E3?
Stop playing, kids. Daddy's up, and he's not happy.
Seriously, what would Stu? What could Nintendo pull out in terms of a direct and then show at E3? What could even possibly break your molten Team GB laden heart?
Nothing really.
They need to play a Cool Island song to warm your icy heart.
No, they don't, man. They need to play a Warm Island song to. Jesus.
Brilliant.
Yeah, nothing, to be honest. I don't care.
There's nothing.
I just don't care about games. I don't even know why I'm here.
That's exactly what Nick Deering said last time he was on.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. But then again, you guys do live together
You
and
are
share the same
Fuck.
opinions and personality now. But there's
Jesus, take
I see
that
you.
back.
I look at you. I see Nick Deering.
I see. Oh my Jesus Christ!
You bastards!
if you could just
I don't even know where to start with any of this.
if you could just quietly stew over that, no pun intended,
Yeah.
for a little bit while we continue to talk about Nintendo, then that'd be great, Mike.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. Yeah,
Daggers.
hit us with a direct that's because the directs are funny. They're weird, but I'm a big fan of the corporate executive love that goes around. So you got your people love Kaz Hirai, people love Iwata, and it's just it's funny to see them go on stage and be the most ridiculous people because they're so awkward, but people just love it. So I love seeing Iwata at these directs, and I want to see them.
So that's what you want to see, Iwata on stage.
No, I want to see him in direct. I don't want to see him on stage. I don't want to see him in real life. No. It'd be like meeting your favourite celebrity and then being afraid to disappoint them.
I think yes. I mean, Sonny said it. Loads like new IP would be great, but even if we don't get that, a high volume of lots of stuff to look forward to, especially for poor Wii U owners. But also, like Mike said, Smash Brothers. I mean, imagine if it's co-developed by Namco, right?
It is, yeah.
It is.
Namco,
Yeah.
Bandai
So
Namco.
imagine if it came out with a really great, robust online system.
Yeah, which it can
it
have.
will
Black
do,
Ops,
'cause
Black Ops 2 worked on Wii U. It was
Yeah,
good.
it's
It
really-
worked well.
well.
Let's have that.
I haven't played it, so.
But apparently it was fine.
You know, I mean, let's
But-
have that.
I want to see, really good indie games on the eShop as well. Really unique indie games. Like, make use of the two
Did you
screens.
say 30p virtual console games?
You mean like
on the
Super
eShop?
Metroid?
Yeah. So,
Love it.
So good.
But I want to see them hype this direct. I don't want them to say, "Oh, it's tomorrow," by the way, because then people just don't get ready for
They've
it.
already had. People know it's coming.
They know it's coming, but every time there's a direct, it's always
Next
they
day,
announce
yeah.
it and it's the next
I
day.
like
I want to know a
Sunny
week before.
Direct is brilliant.
I like the touch points. I like. That's what I'm talking about. I like the piecemeal of information. I like that. It's more. I think it's more. I think we were talking earlier about why they're now announcing stuff before. It's more a reaction to the internet today and how information is dispersed. It's in little bits. It's nice that these directs are really a summation of Nintendo. That's the one thing I feel Nintendo have actually learned is that you can give people bits of information bit by bit, and that you have these touch points throughout the year, and people don't just feel like you're a silent entity. You're a person people care about because there's always talking about a direct here, direct there. It's lovely.
Mike, you obviously were happy with the Sony conference. Listen to episode 44
Oh, yeah.
for his reactions, but
Oh yeah, I got a phone call at 1 a.m. about it.
we've seen a very blurry intercut with close-ups of the PS4 in a teaser video. Looks smaller. It looks to be smaller. It looks to be like sort of like the next progression from the PS3 Super Slim.
I think it's
I
hard, it's
don't
really
think-
hard to tell from
It
that.
won't be smaller. I think it'll be hopefully at its biggest, the size of the initial PS3.
At least
hefty, wasn't it?
It at least looks like they're going for smaller though. Unlike
Do you
it's
think
it's
so?
not going to be as big as the
It
PS3.
won't be based on the specs. It can't be smaller
Yeah.
than the Slim.
I mean, the only thing was.
If
no,
it's
I don't
smaller
say
than the
it's-
Slim, you're going for the Wii U, and if it's that small, it's going to be bloody expensive.
Yeah.
yeah, I think big for that first iteration is all right. People want because it's going to cost a lot. People want to feel like they're getting a lot back. You want to put down 350 quid and get a massive chunk, not as big as an Xbox One, but you want to get a lot of stuff back. So it's all right to open that box and be like, "Whoa, look at this fucking fucking
Sure,
thing.
man. All
I
those
can't
people that
imagine it
have bought
being
like iPads and that have been well pissed off with what they've got because it hasn't been huge.
I've
definitely
Wow.
since.
I've got to say-
I've just been slammed.
A good thing about the Xbox. I was going to say, I was just about to call it the new Xbox, and then my brain's like, no, it's the Xbox One. And then the other half of my brain is going, that's a fucking stupid name. Anyway, the good thing about Xbox One is that, what a fucking stupid name! Because my brain's going, oh, you mean that awesome console you still play Mashed on? No, brain, it's the new one. Wah! Anyway, the good thing about the new Xbox One is that it's a block, it's a complete block, so I could therefore put something on top of it.
True.
So, Mike, what do you think we will / need to see from Sony that we didn't a couple of months ago?
What the hell is
That's the
that?
Uncharted
These guys
4
don't
theme.
even know that.
It's Uncharted, all right. I want to see it because I think I think I said it before. That's got to be
Change the record, Mike.
only because
46 episodes in.
Because
it's
as
like
much-
the same record.
the same record. We want to see new stuff, but something like Uncharted to really.
I want to hear new stuff from you.
Knack.
Can't believe- Better. Let's talk about Mac.
I think because we want to. Like I said, I'm worried about PS4. I'm worried that they haven't got a carve of the market that they can carve of the market. They haven't got a part of the market they can call their own.
Call console gamers.
Yeah, okay.
Outside of COD and FIFA, Madden players.
Yeah,
definitely.
I do Xbox Ones, yeah.
Outside of Medal of Connors. Sure,
And Xbox Ones, yeah.
Sure.
But
Yeah,
they
yeah,
do need to have games that transcend to sell. So I want to see Uncharted there. just
Neville of
because
Honor.
Was that one?
What?
It's Neville of Honor.
Never.
Go on, mate. Go on.
I don't think you need to worry. Again, you always say this stuff, but it's.
Good, I'm
I'm pretty sure they'll be alright.
I want to see a real consistency in their conference. I think Xbox conference was again slicker than the PS4 conference. It was bam bam moving on.
No, it wasn't.
I think it was.
I think the Sony
Man,
one
But that was
much
only
better.
because Sony were bringing on so many different people, whereas
It's
Xbox
long
was
and
like
drawn
two or
out.
three
No.
people.
The first half of that Sony conference I thought was really boring because it was just talking about specs and hard.
It was quite dull.
But
But
then
you
when they
need
started
to say that stuff though. People
No, you
want, that's
don't.
what people wanted that information.
It's either
I
some
it
people do. It's either that or show the box. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to be
both.
as drawn out as that. Just say, okay, if you're going to draw it, do it. Just bam, 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 next. But then what they showed was,
was
games.
snap- it
They
was
showed
snappy.
games,
Yeah,
games,
yeah.
games.
But it was
Didn't like
also
the way they
really-
showed the games. Like what was it?
Don't make me phone you up again, Sonny.
Infamous.
Right here. Yeah, Infamous 2. They talked about
Infamous
like
Second Son.
Second time.
second. It's
Which is confusing because it's 3.
Oh, that is actually confusing.
because
Xbox One
the
wins.
way they introduced it, like there are so many cameras in the world.
Oh,
isn't
Nate,
it?
he's funny.
Watch Dogs.
It was in the style of Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
And then they went with a totally different direction with this game, which was. But at least they showed games.
Yeah, true.
That's the thing.
I think I want to see them come out with a bit of this. People criticise the PS3 for being arrogant for Sony when PS3 came out.
They
Now they're being cheeky with the whole, saying they weren't gonna do a pre-announcement and then just whacking it on like a week later after saying that, revealing their little teaser for the video before the Xbox thing and tweeting out, slow news day, what's going on today? Here's our thing. I want to see a bit of that. I want to see a bit of jibbing and jabbing at Xbox and try and because they should be able to work in. They got enough time to work in what went wrong with the Xbox conference, and they're going after Xbox as well on the day.
Yeah.
So I hope they keep. Don't get overconfident and fuck it up and think now we can announce a $700 price point.
Yeah.
But be a little cheeky. Have some jabs.
do
Show
a-
that. Be like, and now the games.
The Microsoft one comes first. They set a price point, so you could just go, yeah, we're $50 cheaper.
This is what I was thinking again, and I think things like that maybe are a bit harder to do. But as a release date, if they could wait till the conference. It's still like 6 months out. Could they trump them by a week if Xbox announce? Can they say, oh, November 21st? We're November. Wait, maths. 12th.
Here's what I want:
Good maths.
Good maths.
a pre-Christmas release date and
Yes.
a new Wipeout. Okay, Stuart.
Well, pre-Christmas, obviously that's
Yeah, that's.
it's okay.
So Stuart, you're here to bat for Xbox and Microsoft.
Apparently I am,
and
man.
you've had a PS3 all these
I'm
years.
obviously as huge a fanboy as these guys
They-
are
they-
as well.
Do we know any Xbox fanboys?
This is the thing. I don't think you can be a fan of the Xbox fanboy because what gets you excited about a black box of death?
So why would you want to be a fanboy? For
PS3 is
anything?
black.
Why wouldn't you just
Yeah, but
keep
it's not a box of
yourself
death.
open?
I know, Stuart. But I mean, normal people like you and I on this podcast, we have to portray sort of like larger-than-life characters, the very lifestyles that Mike and Sonny live every day. But yes, for this thing, pretend that you're mental about Microsoft.
It's difficult though. I don't know.
I know,
like,
yeah.
I know. I've got a very good laptop as well.
My point is, though,
Great
my
games on that.
point.
Like a cat in
This is
Halo.
not even what I'm asking you. It's like,
A cat in Halo.
Anyway, what I wanted was like a huge summer of arcade reveal for the first summer of Xbox's One's existence, but I guess that's out the window. Hashtag deal with it every 24 hours.
Yeah, E3 is going to be it's going to be cool, I think, because there's a lot of there's Sony and Microsoft are going head to head in a very
And Nintendo will also be there.
They'll also be there in a very interesting space because they should both now be talking about their exclusive games. Really, is what it looks like. And the first one that fucks that up is the one that fucks up E3. So
I think
just not often you get, it's an obvious point, but not often you get an E3 in the same year as console launch.
Yeah, it's the biggest.
double console.
About every 5 years, I gather.
What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, I think
you've
Microsoft's
been
conference. I think Microsoft's conference is a lot more predictable. It'll be more on the TV, more on sports. Call of Duty at the end of it.
They can't do Call of Duty at the end again. They can't.
I think you're being...
Call of Duty will be there again.
They'll do it at the start this time.
Ah, it's not.
No,
But they start the last E3 with Call of Duty and the controller stopped.
You're wrong, man. It won't be like that. It can't be like that.
Call of Duty will be a massive presence.
No,
at
I'm
the
saying
conference.
it can't be more sports, TV, and Call of Dog.
No,
It's going to
No,
be
it's Collar of Duty. That was
Color
the thing.
of Duty.
That was
That's
the
much
thing.
better than I just.
Sony, they've also got like a wider playing field because they did have they had the games and a bit of the overall service. They've still got room to do a bit more servicey stuff.
this is why I'm more interested in the Sony one because I don't know what's going to come.
Yeah.
From Sony.
Whereas
I was just
Microsoft, they can't speak any more about the services. They can't even give a minute to more guff.
I was just going to say that this goes for like people like EA, Capcom as well. Is it asking too much? Just surprise us. Is it? I just want to be surprised by everything I see. It's not asking too much. But yes, I
It'll
will
be a newborn child, the mental state of a newborn child.
But if you're not reading oxcgn.com, you should be. I will be covering E3 from LA for oxcgn.com. So please go and read all of my/our coverage over there and just read the site in general because obviously it's pretty amazing. If you want to join in with our podcast conversations, please email us at contact@readygamefire.co.uk. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, watch our podcasts and subscribe and like on YouTube. And please, please, please rate and review us on iTunes. It's not a pointless task. It helps us get noticed on there and would do us the world of good. So thank you, as always, to the mini bosses for their music. And thank you also to the Universal Takeover Network, who are now fully sports, and obviously there's no place for a video game show on them, but thanks for all that you've done for us.
We had fun.
We really appreciate it. It's goodbye from me, Chris. Goodbye. Goodbye from Stuart Fenn.
Yeah.
First this time.
Whatever.
Goodbye from Mike Power.
Xbox, snap, crackle, and pop.
And it's goodbye from Sunny Mody.
See ya.
Is this the end of Sunny Direct for today?
How do they end it? They just end it abruptly.
They
so
just go,
bye.
and Luigi.
They bow, so could you do a silent bow?
A silent bow.
And that's the end of episode 46 of the Ready Game Fire podcast. Ready Game Fire! Go home.
You idiot.